A great Tuesday morning. It is a beautiful morning in the city of Brownsville. Beautiful morning in the city of Brownsville. And I got a little piggly wiggly on my lap. He he's so funny because he was passing on through, walking through, como que aquí voy, ponme atención. Y dije yo, pero como que muy despiste, like, just passing by. See if he acknowledges that I'm here this morning. And I said, ven para acá, marranito. And I picked him up and I started to scratch under his jaw. Y tiene murerito. Como que no se alcanza a bañar ahí abajo. Pero ya se lo quité. That was my... Eres un niño bonito, hermoso. Eres un niño bonito, hermoso. He is so fat. He is so fat. He literally fits on my bottom part of my legs. Look at that guy. That's Chema. Allá Chema. He is huge. Huge. And he's getting fatter every day. I love my cat. Um, these are my office cats. I have two office cats and two home cats. My girls at home are flaquitas and chiquitas. The two cats I have at the office are humongous, are so big, but so beautiful. They're all beautiful. All my cats are beautiful. Um, they keep me balanced. I was making mention last night how important it is for me to worship, and I'm not one of those individuals that's out there. This is how you should worship. This is what you should do. I uh, I focus on what works for me during worship, and I need to have that balance in my life. Uh, I need to have that balance in my life, and my cats also help me have a little bit of balance. Um, this morning, I ran into a friend of mine who does who I'd seen on the street riding a scooter, and I saw him, and I said, "Hey, I always cross paths with you because we're riding scooters." And we compared scooters and stuff, and had a great little conversation. And it's maybe the wave of the future. One of the things that I did see in Mexico City is how individuals out there. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing? Good morning.
Te pesqué peinándote.
Yes, one of those morning rush because I fell behind on schedule and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm always out and about by 8 o'clock in the morning. And today was just one of those days.
It happens.
So, how you been? What are you doing? What are you up to? How's it
Good.
going?
It's going good. I was mentioning how I ran into a friend of mine who was doing the scooters thing now, which is I can appreciate. One of the things that I see in Mexico City, because I just got back this weekend, is how a lot of people up there in Mexico City are also using scooters, but they don't rent them in Mexico City because of the high theft that exists there. Uh, people own their own scooter, and they get back and forth, get around in them, which I think is very very practical. So I ran into a friend of mine here in Brownsville. I think I'm seeing more and more people on scooters, and that's a good thing. It saves on gas, the economy, and they're very very practical. A great way to get around.
It
Yeah,
it's it's practical, and like you say, that as it is, the cost of living right now, it's so expensive that gas started to go up again. I noticed that it was going down and now it's going back up. It's just amazing how we have to deal with this, up and down type of situation while everybody's struggling financially. Um, you know, rents. I received two calls from two people that wanted to rent a home, and I asked, okay, well, what's the price range that you would like to, for your lease to be? And they said, well, no more than 1,200. And I'm like, oh my God, we can't find those anymore. Rents are anywhere between, 1,400, 1,500, 1,700, 1,800, $2,000
it's
of
crazy.
rent. And it's insane, but I don't think a lot of people are really paying attention to what's going on in our community, and it's hindering the population, the higher population that is struggling, even though couples do work and they're trying to make a living, but they fall in the bracket where they don't qualify for a lot of things for assistance, right? So it is a shame that the people that are working hard, and I think there's people that I've met that they've been on the government system and they want to pull themselves out, but they give them no option but to go back in, because it's like it's more of a lucrative um opportunity for them to be able to survive and pull through as they're raising a family, as they're trying to make a living and make ends meet. It's so unfortunate. It is just very sad.
It is a very very difficult situation. The other day, I actually posted how this rundown little house, was out there being rented at $1,200 a month, and they had pictures of the inside. I'm going like, damn, I don't think I'd rent that for $500 a month. But there's people that would rent just about anything at that price because everything else is just so much higher. It's inconceivable. Uh, I was mentioning the scooter thing because very very practical, very a great way to get around. I'm hoping that more individuals decide to use options that are cost efficient and not harmful to the environment we live in. The only drawback that we have from scooters, us that own them, are that they are electrically powered, and you have to charge them up. And my utility rates actually went up 100 and some bucks this month again. So it's something that you mentioned, God, it's just so unstable right now. You just don't know what's going to happen. One thing that I guarantee to a lot of individuals out there is that the rates went down, your bill went down a little bit because it's going to be election season very soon. And as soon as that is done and over with the same individuals that we've had before, you could almost guarantee that your our electricity bill is going to go up, and we're not going to have anything to say about that. But it is what it is. Gati, I had a conversation with a police officer this morning in regards to the forum we had last week. Because I think a lot of us are still waiting to see who they're going to go out there and endorse. Had a conversation with them and basically stated the same thing that we discussed here is that people are tired of the political talk, Kati. They're tired of the double tongue, fork tongues.
You know that it's been going on too long, and I've been trying to make memory as to the last three, 4 or 5 elections, right? Because they have them like, okay, so you elect 3 commissioners and you elect 4 commissioners and the mayor, commissioners and the mayor, right? So you try to. I've been trying to make memory as to, I believe it's been in the past 15, 20 years that we've been taken advantage of, and nothing good has really transpired in the sense to where we can get our citizens out of poverty, where the city the city feels stagnant. There's a lot of things that I have noticed that they've just been put to the back, burner or just completely ignored. I feel that we have not been taken into consideration, or that they don't value us as citizens as to what we truly deserve in our community. There's a lot of challenges. I had mentioned we have border issues. We do. We have border issues regardless of how people feel about it. Reality check is that bleeds into our city, those challenges that come from other countries, and from the border. And it's such a shame that we have to carry the burden, and try to do good for everybody. you know Not only that, but I firmly believe that the focus has been to self-serve themselves in the opportunity that came about in the city, in the older part of the city of Brownsville, which is downtown. And unfortunately, we have been left in the dark with so many things, the way they've managed to maneuver and change it to circumvent themselves. That BCIC, they put they put the rules, the policies, or the chart, however they want to call it. They put all that wording so they would benefit. At the same time, they would take advantage of it. I mean, it's such a shame that the mayor practically owns, several buildings downtown at the cost of you know, our taxpayers' dollars. They've maintained some of the areas to benefit themselves. Adams is a very nice street. If you drive by downtown, all that little area, it's been brought somewhat to life. And yet we are struggling out here in the outskirts of that area. So, and then it's a shame that we heard the police officers, for the citizens that don't know this, the police officers and the civilians that work for the city of Brownsville have been losing retirement benefits and benefits, which is a shame, because benefits are supposed to be there for people to be an incentive for them so they could work. And then when they retire, they take those benefits with them. Well, through the years, some of the people that the citizens have elected, because I can tell you, I have not elected most of the ones that are sitting there. They have not been my choice. They just haven't. And it's unfortunate that we're suffering now. 15 years later, we're struggling, we're suffering. And if we don't pay close attention, like I keep saying, if the citizens don't go out and vote, because this is what I hear, what for? And nothing's going to change. They have that no care attitude already by now. That's what I've heard. That's what I feel, and that's what I see.
Well, I'm hoping that we start to get help from a lot of these different organizations. I mean, the police officers, the firefighters, they carry a lot of weight. They have a lot of family members out there in the community, and if everyone out there does their part, we're going to be okay. One of the things that I shared with this officer this morning was like, look, the difference is these individuals have hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend. I mean, you're talking about boohoo's of cash that a lot of us don't. And what we have, hopefully, is the support of the people out there. And the support of the people should be more important than money spent on signs, on advertising, on phone banking, on block walking, on everything else. And I'm hoping that that's the case because I fear that this city cannot survive 4 years of the same crap. 4 more years of this same crap, and I think it's going to stick a fork in it, and it's going to be done. But we'll see. I mean, Trump to be arraigned this morning. Your thoughts, please, sir. Look, anyone that has broken the law, should have their day in court. Should be brought to justice. With that said, I personally don't give a rat's behind that Trump paid a prostitute or a porn star money to be quiet. It's not like my number one concern. I know a lot of individuals that dislike or hate Trump, or be all ecstatic and happy about it. Personally, I don't care. Uh, you know, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't put an extra dollar in my pocket or remove a dollar from my pocket. Uh, More power to the people that are happy with Trump getting indicted or arraigned. I doesn't affect me in any way, or anybody else here in Brownsville. I would say.
We need to focus on the dire needs of our leaders here. In actuality, I think that yes, everything affects us as a city. Whatever happens at the federal level comes down to the state level, and then from the state level, it comes down to the local city level. So we are struggling with a lot of issues due to the um, I feel the leadership that we've had right now is look at California. Most of them are from California, the ones that are running our city. I mean, excuse me, correction, the ones that are running our and if you look at the state of California is somewhat also in distress. And, whatever happens at the federal level runs down to the state level. And if the state level, if we have a good governor that can sustain us and keep us financially strong, then we'll be able to be somewhat okay as long as we know what we're doing here locally and you have the leaders that understand what needs to get done. And I feel that what needs to get done is let's start rolling up our sleeves and let's get to work for the citizens, for all of us as a whole, for the betterment of the entire community. Brownsville, I personally had never seen it in such distress with the infrastructure. There's a lot of challenges. When it rains, we flood very quickly because our drainage system is not kept clean. Plus, the citizens, I mean, they throw just everything and anything out, and they just don't even clean their sidewalks or their areas. A lot of the brush, a lot of the debris goes into our drainage system, into the gutters. And guess what? Once the rain comes up, we start flooding. So there's a lot of issues, there's a lot of challenges, and we just need to prioritize for those of us when we get elected. And one thing that the citizens should demand and expect is that we are truly working for the city itself and for the citizens. And that has not been happening.
Sorry, guys. I had someone walk in regards to a wedding. Hey, that's one of the again. Kathy, you're always on the run. You're always at work. I'm always at work. We, unlike a lot of our opponents, we have to work. We're not depending out there on the political tit that funds these campaigns, and the little that we've been able to do, and I've been able to do very very little, comes from our pocket, not from a special interest pocket, not from the pocket of the corrupt political machine. It comes from us, and I'm hoping that people can appreciate that. That you have an opportunity to elect individuals that are not going to be controlled by the people who put money into their campaigns. It's important. I think our opponents, my opponents especially. I know your opponents are spending some money. It's not theirs, but my opponents are literally spending uh, hundreds of thousands of dollars that are definitely not theirs. Sup, Erasmo, sup. Gotcha. Local politics information is much better, 100%. Innocent until proven guilty. He's not very. Sakala Scooter. We have always struggled with our issues here in Brownsville, but nothing has ever been done, much less listening to us. Doesn't matter how many people turn out to vote. That's what matters. And that's where everyone else comes into play. Thank you for keeping the citizens informed. We're surely trying. Good morning. Good morning. So, got anything else going on today?
I know that we have a couple of forums coming up. I believe we were invited by the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. And you know that the problem that we've had far too long is that it's regardless of what party you belong to, at the end of the day, your representation is supposed to be for everyone. Citizens deserve to be respected. Voters deserve to be respected. And people keep saying nothing gets done, nothing gets done. You know why? Because unfortunately the teams that have been elected, or the people that have been elected, aren't there truly for the betterment of the community. It's for special personal agendas that they have, and they focus on that just particular agendas that they want for themselves. And I'm not saying don't revamp downtown. And I'm going to tell you, every city that is successful and that has history, they maintain their historical buildings, they maintain or properties, they maintain their original foundation of their downtown where it all began. And for us, we let our downtown deteriorate for years and years, because I remember back in the 70s and the 80s, still a little bit in the 90s, early 90s, the downtown still looked with some sort of life. And then I think it went to life support, and then all of a sudden it's just no longer, it was no longer the downtown area that everybody knew when we were raised back in the 60s and the 70s. It was a beautiful place for people to go and have a burger or shop. And now they want to make it like a Austin type of downtown area. I don't believe we're there yet at that level, but I believe that if we invest in it in the right way, and not that only certain elite groups are benefiting from the buildings and becoming property owners as elected officials. Unfortunately, it is what it is. They took advantage of their position, of the power, and they took advantage of us. And that's what happens when we don't elect the right people. I keep asking people, pay attention. Who's connected with who? Who is capable and able of working for you and working as a team and prioritizing the items that need to be paid attention to. We don't our playgrounds, our parks, our baseball parks, they haven't changed. Those parks, those little leagues have to sustain themselves because the city doesn't do much for them. These 503 non-for-profits, they struggle. They struggle. That's why I am committed. If the citizens of Brownsville, which I hope they don't, I hope that they don't pass that for the mayor and for the commissioners to get paid. This is something that was brought up by the current sitting and elect the people that you elected. The people that you elected right now to serve as commissioners and as your mayor, they decided it was a great idea for them to get a salary. It was not me. It was not the ones that we stepped up to the plate to try to make a difference and start being your voice and standing up for what's right. But you guys have a choice this election. And if you don't go vote, guys, and if it passes, don't complain. Don't complain. You know,
Well, if it passes, it's going to be downright crazy. Let me get to the other comments, and before it's almost 30 minutes. Are you going to stream any forums? I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best to make sure that we could stream as many as we can. I'd love people to be able to listen to him. Yeah, to witness them. Um, I'm going to try. I'm thinking that the Democrat women is going to be easy to stream because I streamed it last time that they had one. I think the Republican women is going to be open to it, so that's going to be okay. Uh, I'm not. I'm having one today, but I think it's just a one-on-one, so I don't know if they're going to let us stream it or not. Rotary Club tomorrow at noon. Next week on the 13th, there's actually like three forums on the 13th. I'm going to make sure that those get streamed. So we will try. Downtown projects are motivated by someone's individual dream of downtown that state recognition is not going to happen. It is misguided. It's putting money in their pocket. The political machine makes pack political action committees and gives money to the crooked politicians. That is how Tony and Trey became greedy. 100%. Brownsville downtown is being revitalized only because someone is benefiting from this money. Uh, Wise, unfortunately, we're beating a dead horse. These days are gone. Yeah, I agree. Those days are definitely not here with us. Gadi, thanks for coming on. Guys, have a great day. I'll be back tonight at 9 p.m. Actually, got to get to work. Uh, it's going to be a crazy day. Uh, Thank you so much for being patient with me. Last night, I was feeling a little bit under the weather. Felt a lot better after a good night's rest and a good little stiff drink. Uh, I need help in this race, guys. I need individuals' help to continue to fight uh, and to push the campaign forward. Um, I'm excited about this race. I need you to be as well. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Social distance, face covering, hand sanitizer, still be doing all that crap. See you tonight at 9 p.m. Be good to each other. Continue to be good to me. God bless.